Okay, so this is kind of the outer view of the garden. This is towards orchard, and this is towards the garden beds. The rhubarb, we utilized quite a lot of rhubarb this year because I had lots of strawberries. So I made lots of cobbler and with the rhubarb. So tomatoes, and these are our tomatoes this year. We bought starts because the ones I started in seed I had trouble with. I'll show you those later. I'm just going to show the soil here, what we did for the tomatoes. I have watered the garden twice this year since it got planted, and I was going to kind of show, let's see, the soil. If I can work this camera. Where's my hand there? Okay. Good. This is the soil I wanted to show you. See, this is some of the nicest soil we have in the garden, in this bed. The soil out here is red clay, and these garden beds have been mulched. This bed has been heavily mulched the whole entire winter. So, just leaves that I raked up from the driveway and put over the bed. And there's all sorts of bugs down in there. Lots of bugs. And I don't know if you guys can see. Ooh, the soil looks good. There's some clay in there. But for the most part it looks pretty good. And it's keeping this bed really moist. Normally, we had just had 90-degree days. Normally, we would have had to water because all the soil would have gotten dried out. There's a couple more tomatoes. The mustard came up from seed. Beautiful lettuce. And that's the Permaculture experiment bed. There was a pea in there, but it died. So that one may be more of a failed experiment. We'll see how it does long term. So this bed, I've got lots of calendula. And I just kind of let everything go wild. I put seeds in a bag and tossed them around into all the beds. And there was clover and carrots and beets and kale. And everything's just kind of growing up wherever it landed. Nice cabbage. I think this was broccoli. Some of the stuff I didn't know what it was after it came up because I didn't label anything. That's chard. We got some lettuce. And there's beets in there. The poppies came up and I let them go crazy. This bed looks really good. And this bed is not mulched. This is just clover and all the plants that planted in there. There's a tomato. That's actually one that I started from seed, so it's not doing too bad. It's pretty good. And all this stuff. We've got a squash coming up. That was just a random seed in there, and it's kind of coming up there. There's carrots in here, and beets, and there's some lettuce. It's kind of cool, you gotta dig around. But, let's go. Let's kind of check this out a little, see if we can get in there and see. It's like a little ecosystem down in here. There's some ground cover clovers. There's leaves and debris. There's a little cabbage coming up. There's so many different plants all in here hanging out. There's a carrot. I pulled a nice, beautiful carrot out of the garden yesterday. Here's this bed's the cabbage patch. Lots of cabbage in this handshake. And I believe those are radishes, but I'm not sure. And the fava beans, look at those. That bed is fairly heavily mulched. And these guys have been watered. Besides the rain that we've had this year, this garden has been hand watered twice since I planted it in, when did I put this stuff out here? Might have been March. Or April. Peas. Fava beans look good. Oh, some tomatoes came up volunteer, and we just let them do their thing. There's a volunteer tomato. Probably be a cherry of some kind. And there's another one in the back. There's another volunteer there. It's not doing as well. That's one I raised from seed. Catnip. It's going crazy. I'm gonna have to get some of those seeds off. I planted lots of radishes and turnips to help improve our soil. So they got nice big roots that go down in there and loosen things up. So I wasn't too particular about harvesting those. So a lot of them went to seed. And the fava beans, looks like somebody's getting into that. We've got deer and stuff out here. And dogs. Oh, I'll show you my hay bale. It's going pretty good. This corn that I planted, it's just about knee-high by the 4th of July. And that's just a straw bale bed. You can see one of my other videos about it. Well, there's Willow. Say hi, Willow. Good girl. Squash. And there's a tomato back there behind the corn, if you could see. So that was a cool experiment. Seems to be working out. Ooh, lettuce. Started that tomato from seed. Could have used a little bit of something. I'm not sure what. Look at that squash. Isn't that adorable? Again, this is the random seed sprinkle method, along with the mulch. Beets, lettuce, carrots, lots of carrots in this bed. It's the cilantro bed. Just does its thing every year. Maybe I'll plant some carrots in there next year. More radishes to improve soil. There's some more there. This is the potato and flaxseed bed. Flaxseed. It did good. Peas. There's a big squash over there, which is doing awesome. And there's some chard. Lots of lettuce. Lettuce did really well. And lots of greens. They like this mulch. The mulch is awesome. I love it. The soil is much happier this year than it ever has been. Quinoa. It's getting watered. I thought maybe that would help. It's fallen over. Check out that corn. It's badass corn. Those are corns that I started from seed, the little ones. And then the big ones, they were in the toss sack method. They just spreaded there where they landed. That bed's probably the wildest and craziest. So much more stuff. There's some quinoa. So that was my update. Show you what's been going on with the permaculture inspired garden this year. Thanks for watching.